So what I want you to do real quick is just flip to the back, and we're gonna write down notes on how to solve equations in our calculator. Again, on any assignment, you will be solving them by hand, but check them in your calculator, okay? So to do this, the first thing you want to do is check your windows. You're going to check that the x minimum, x maximum, y minimum, and y maximum are set big enough to see the answer. Okay, so basically when you're solving an equation, just so y'all know, like the left side is actually a linear part, like it's a line, and the right side is a line. And when you're solving an equation, we're going to learn all of this later, but when you're solving equations, if you graph them and it makes two lines, they're eventually going to what? They're going to meet and intersect. That point of intersection is actually the answer. And that's why your calculator will solve it for you, because it's a graphing calculator. So you're going to basically put in the left side as one line, the right side of the equal sign is another line, and you're going to tell the calculator to give you the answer. It's going to graph it, and wherever they meet is the answer. So what you're telling it right here is, hey, you need to be able to see the answer. So if y'all hit the Windows button right here, if it is set in its factory settings, it can only see from -10 to what? +10. So if the answer is 30, is it going to be able to see it? No. So you're just going to go change the windows to whatever you want, just something big. You can literally do -1,000, +1,000. If it's bigger, you can do bigger. So whatever you want. So let's just say -1,000, +1,000. And guys, you're just going to have to like memorize this, okay? The minimum is the negative. The maximum is the what? Positive. And you can do whatever. You could do the minimum -30, the maximum +30. And as long as the answer is smaller than 30, it's going to give it to you. But we're going to set it to something really big. That way we're guaranteed to get our answer. Okay? And the y minimum and maximum, set it to the same thing. -1,000, +1,000. So go do that right now. Your minimum, -1,000. Your maximum, +1,000. That next thing you see where it says X scale, that's what it's counting by. So you could actually tell your calculator to count by 20s, to count by 30s, to count by 1s. Don't even worry about that though, just skip it. Then go to Y minimum, -1,000, Y maximum, +1,000. So all you did is tell the calculator on the x-axis, I want you to go all the way to -1,000 and all the way to +1,000. That's really a big range, yes? Are y'all with me? Okay, that's all we told it. So to solve equations in your calculator, the first thing you do is check your windows that it's set big enough. Okay? Then you're going to go to your y equals button. Don't hit clear because you'll clear out whatever you just did. Hit second quit. Second mode. You'll see the quit button above mode. Okay, hit the y equals button. You're going to, in y1, you're going to put in the left side of the equal sign. And then in y2, you're going to put in the right side of the equal sign. So I'm going to get our homework out from last night and show y'all how this would work, okay? But let's write our steps down. Once you put those in, you're going to hit second, trace. You're going to choose option 5, which is intersection, because that's what we're looking for. Hey, where do these two lines meet? And then you're going to hit enter 3 times. Enter, enter, enter. And then when your answer is there, it will say intersection x equals, and then it'll give you your answer right there. I know it sounds like a lot, but once you get it, it's like super, super fast. And you only have to set your windows one time. So now that you've set them, They're set forever unless you change them. Okay, which we will change them because seeing negative 1,000 to 1,000 isn't going to help me when I'm graphing stuff, right? Like I'm probably going to want like negative 20 to 20 or something like that. So you will be changing these a lot throughout the year. All right, so let's take from our homework last night, let's take number 1, this one. What does it say to go to? Go to y equals. What did you write down? Put in the left side in y1. So what did I highlight yellow? The left side. So I would type in 16x. Now everybody listen, do not hit the multiplication button for x. Okay? X is right here. Y'all see where it says x, comma, right here. So hit 16x minus 15. And make sure you hit the subtraction button. Minus 9x. Any questions? Can I move on? So what did we just do? We put the left side in y1. Now what are we going to do? Put the right side in y2. So the right side is just a 13. Now what did you write down? We're going to hit second trace. So here's trace. Do y'all see what is in blue above trace? What does it say? Calculate. We want it to calculate the answer, right? So second trace. Why are we choosing option 5? Because we're looking for the intersection. Now, don't push it yet. Y'all listen to me. When it's graphing it, if you push a button, you will freeze your calculator up. So once you pick option 5, don't touch anything. So watch what happens. If I pick option 5, it's going to graph it for me, and it's thinking. If I push a button while it's thinking, I will freeze the calculator up. So you got to make sure it stops thinking. Everybody see? Once it stops, I hit enter 3 times until I see the words intersection down here. So enter, enter, enter. Once you see the words intersection, it's going to give you the answer. X equals. Did it give me my answer? What do y'all think? It's really awesome. It's super helpful, especially when you're wanting to check your work and make sure. I think it's a little bit faster than plugging in. So let's go do one more. And then, guys, I'm not going to teach all this again. Okay? So if you want to check yourself at home, you'll be able to do this. The quiz on Monday, I am going to allow you to do them in your calculator if you want to. Okay? So, all right, let's put this one in. Now, here's the deal. The calculator doesn't want other variables. Always use x. So if it says m, you still use x, okay? So go back to y equals. Clear out. So you have to hit clear for y1 and clear for y2. Now let's type in the left side. So 15x plus 4 minus 9x. Then put in the right side, negative 32. Are there any questions? Are y'all okay? Now what do you hit? Second trace, option. And y'all know y'all can actually hit 5. Like you don't have to scroll down to 5. You can actually hit 5. Wait for it to graph. Do not freeze your calculator. Mine has like this little thing that thinks. I think y'all's has something up at the top right too. Once it's done thinking, you're going to hit enter until you see what words down here? Intersection. X equals negative 6. Is that what we got? Yes. Okay, so any questions on how to use this calculator to solve equations? Okay. Are you going to be able to check your work with it on your assignment today? Yes, but I do still expect you to show your work so that you can learn how to solve equations that the calculator won't do. All right, so go back to the front. We're going to skip that first one just because it's way too hard to see. All right, let's look at this one with Susan. Susan had a $10 coupon. What does it mean to have a coupon? Do you pay extra or you get to take it off? So she's going to take $10 off, right? She bought a coat that was on sale for a half its original price. After using the coupon, she paid $125 for the coat before taxes. What was the original price? Now, this is algebra. Everything we do, we're going to write in equation to solve a problem. Make sense? So what are we looking for? The original price. So what are we going to call the original price? X, Y, oh, I don't care. Let's use X, just so we're all using the same thing. So the original price is going to be called X. Now let's talk about, she bought a coat that was on sale for a half its original price. Whenever you get something for half off, how do you figure out what you're going to pay? You divide by 2 or multiply by 0.5. So we're going to take 0.5 and multiply it by the original cost, which is X, yes? But then she also had a coupon for what? So how am I going to write that? Minus 10 equals, and then what did she end up paying? $125. Can I now solve this equation? All right, so how would I get rid of the constant? Plus 10. Now I'm going to come over here just because I wrote way too low. So I have 0.5x equals 135. How am I going to get rid of the 0.5, the coefficient? Divide by 0.5. So I have x equals, and 135 divided by 0.5 is really 135 times 2, which is 270. So is that a good answer for a word problem? No. What was the question? What was the original? So how would I label this? With dollar signs. So $270. Could I check this in my calculator? Okay, so let's do it. We're not going to do every single one. I just want y'all to get enough practice that you remember. So where do I go? Y equals, clear everything out. What am I going to type in? Y1? 0.5x minus 10. What am I going to type in? Y2? 125. Okay, what do I hit? Second trace option. Wait for it to graph. Sometimes it graphs slow, but I promise you, you will freeze your calculator. Then enter, enter, enter. Did we get the right answer? Yes. Okay. Now, what do you do if your calculator freezes? If you have a yellow or black calculator from the library, the best thing to do is take out one battery, wait like 30 seconds, put it back in, and it will reset your calculator. With these, I've frozen it a few times, and I have to hit like second on like a million times, and then it'll like do it. So just be real careful with these, okay? Because you can't have a battery to take out. All right, moving on to the next equations. Now on these, they're a little different from the equations we've been doing, okay? There isn't a constant or a coefficient because the entire side is being divided by what? So 9 is not really a coefficient of P. Are we paying attention? Because I don't have a calculator right now. It is B. The whole side is being divided by 9. So it's kind of the constant, okay? Like it's not really attached to anything. Now we could go do P divided by 9 plus negative 15 divided by 9. But the easiest way to get rid of it is to say, hey, if the whole side is being divided by 9, I can get rid of dividing by 9 by doing the opposite, which is, so I can multiply the whole side by 9, and whatever I do to the left, I have to do to the right. So I have P minus 15 equals a negative 6 times 9 is negative 54. How do I get rid of the minus 15? Plus 15. So I have P equals a negative 54 plus 15 is negative 39. There is no coefficient to get rid of. Okay, go do this one on your own the way I just taught you that. Questions? Now, will the calculator solve these? Yes. Okay, how would you put in the left side, like of this one? Is this a big old fraction? So look what I did. I go to y equals. I typed in alpha y equals within y1. So let me show y'all. I'll clear it out. So I'm in y1. I hit alpha y equals option 1, and it gives me that fraction option, yes? So I type in x minus 15 on top. I type in 9 on bottom. And then for y2, I just type in negative 6. Yes? Then second trace, option 5, wait for it to graph. It graphed this one like super, super slow. Not really sure why. And enter. Oops, I did not mean to hit that. Second trace, option 5, enter, enter, enter. And I did get the answer. Okay, any questions on those? Again, you are going to solve them by hand. If you come Tuesday, and your paper just has answers, you're getting a 0. Everybody understand? All right, let's go on to this word problem. Hugo is buying a pair of water skis that are on sale for 2/3 of the original price. Did y'all see a clue word? Y'all learned the of word, right? Of means multiply. Okay? After he uses a $25 gift certificate, the total cost before taxes is $115. What was the original price? All right, so let's talk about it. What are we looking for? So what do we want to call that? X, okay? He's buying a pair of water skis. They're on sale for 2/3 of the original price. How would I write that? 2/3 X. Now he's also using a $25 gift certificate. So would you take that off your bill or would you add that to your bill? Take it off. So minus 25 equals, and how much did he pay? $115. Okay, I'm going to let y'all put this one in the calculator because we've been practicing doing them by hand. I just want to make sure everybody knows how to do them in the calculator. Question? Because you have your x equals 1. So I'm going to reset your calculator. Go redo your windows. If it doesn't let you, then you've hit something and it's just programmed wrong. So you have to reset your calculator. Okay, now it should work. Okay. So right up here it said x equals. So you had accidentally hit something. Okay. Make sure you tab out of that fraction before you put in the x, correct? Everybody good with that? What'd y'all get? So x equals 210. Is that a good answer for a word problem? No. What are we talking about? Price, the money. So how would I write this? $210. Okay, do y'all feel like y'all practiced the calculator enough? Y'all will be able to use it without me? Y'all are okay? And then remember where it is on your notes so you can go refer back to it. All right, now we're going to learn how to write word problems that sound super crazy. Okay, this is actually way easier than it thinks. Do y'all know what an integer is? Bless you. What's an integer? 1, 2, 3, 4, or -1, -2, -3, right? What is a consecutive integer? Consecutive means one after another. So what's consecutive with 1? 2. Are y'all with me? So if I say consecutive integers, I mean back-to-back numbers. So if it's 20, it would be 20, 21, 22, 23. Those are consecutive, meaning one after another. Make sense? All right. So how would I write a consecutive integer in algebra? A consecutive integer, say you don't know the integer. If we don't know a number, what do we call it? Give me an x. Okay? So if I say, hey, x, what is a consecutive integer to x? The next number, yes? What's the next number after x? X plus? Do y'all understand that or no? So for example, if x was 20, what would be the next consecutive integer? 21. So you would do 20 plus 1. So any consecutive integer, you're just adding 1. What would be the next consecutive integer to x? X plus 2. And then the next one would be x plus 3. And the next one would be x plus 4. Does that make sense? All right, what if I said, give me a consecutive even integer? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Y'all see what I'm saying? So consecutive even, if I started with x, the next number, instead of adding 1, for even, I'm going to have to add 2. So x plus 2. The next consecutive integer would be x plus 4. Now, what about consecutive odds? Now, every year this one confuses people because they know odds are like ones. 1, 3, 5, 7, yes? But aren't they still counting by twos? 1 from 1 to 3 is plus. So it's going to have the same formula as even. So let's say I start with an odd number like 5. That's my x. How would I get to the next odd number? I'd have to add 2 to get from 5 to 7. So x plus 2. To get to the next one, I would be x plus 4. Now, why do we care about this? Because we're going to write word problems. We're going to write equations from these word problems, okay? This is how, it's really easy if you'll use this. They want you to find 3 consecutive integers that add up to equal 42. You could sit and guess and sit and add 3 consecutive, like is 20 plus 21 plus 22 equal to 42? Well, I don't know. I would have to sit and figure it out. You see what I'm saying? Or I can make an equation and solve it. So I want 3 consecutive integers. So I'm going to use this formula right here. That add up. What makes me say add up? Because sum means to equal. All right, so let's go write an equation. I want 3 consecutive integers. What's the first integer going to be? X. Plus, I need to add the next consecutive integer. What's the next one? X plus 1. What's the next integer? X plus 2. And all 3 of those have to add up to equal. Now, if you're confused, let me explain. This represents the first integer. This represents the second, and this represents the third. And we're looking for 3 consecutive integers. Make sense? So now I would just solve this as an equation. So what can I combine here? So I can combine this x with this x plus this x. So what's x plus x plus x? 3x. Plus, can I combine those numbers? 1 plus 2 is 3, and that adds up to equal 42. Now I need to get rid of the constant 3, yes? By doing what? Subtracting, and I'm out of room, so I'm going to come over here. So I have 3x equals, what's 42 minus 3? 39. And then I'm going to divide by 3. Now I better get an integer or I did it wrong. Like if I get a decimal, I did not do this right. Are y'all with me? What is 39 divided by 3? 13. So that means the first integer is, what would the second integer be if it's consecutive? 14. What would the third one be? 15. Can we check to see if this is correct? Can I add those together to say, hey, do these 3 consecutive integers add up to equal 42. So let's go test it out. Is 13 plus 14 plus 15 equal to 42? Yes. All right, let's look at the next one. Find 3 consecutive even integers that add up to 42. So which one of these am I going to use? Even. Yes? So these 3 have to add up to equal 42. So I write x, that's my first integer, plus, what's my next one? X plus 2. What's my next one? X plus 4, because they're even, have to add up to equal 42. So I'm going to combine like terms. What's x plus x plus x? So I have 3x plus, what's 4 plus 2? 6 equals 42. Now I'm going to subtract my constant of 6, and I'm left with 3x equals, and 42 minus 6 is? And then I'm going to divide by 3. And 36 divided by 3 is? 12. Is that my final answer? No, because it said find 3 consecutive even integers. So my first number is 12. What would the next even number be? 14. What would the next one be? That has to be the answer, but are we going to check it by adding them up to see if they add up to 42? All right, so here we go. Is 12 plus 14 plus 16 equal to 42? Yes. I am going to let you try to set this one up on your own. Use this right here, guys. It's all there for you, okay? Go set it up on your own. I'm going to give you like 30 seconds. Did y'all get it set up? What was your formula up here to write? Consecutive odd, so you should have written x plus 2 plus has to equal 51. Are y'all okay with this? Yes? All right, so here we go. I'm going to add what's x plus x plus x? 3x plus what's 2 plus 4? Equals 51. I'm going to subtract 6, and I'm left with 3x equals, what's 51 minus 6? Thank you. Divide by 3, and 45 divided by 3 is that my answer? No, that's the first integer. So I write 15, comma, what's the next odd integer? What's the next odd one? And then I add them up to make sure they equal 51. Are y'all catching on? Okay, let's do one more of these. And I think I fixed the typo. Yes. Okay, here we go. It says find the sum of the largest and smallest of 4 consecutive even integers. So we've only been doing 3. This time we need 4. An even. So I'm going to follow this, but I need a fourth one, right? So what would the fourth one be? X plus 6, because it's even. All right, so here we go. I'm going to do x. That's my first term, yes? Plus x plus 2. That's my second. Plus x plus 4. That's my third. I need one more. Plus x plus 6. Are we writing this down? So again, This is the first integer, the second, the third, the fourth. And they are all going to add up to equal 52. All right, what is x plus x plus x plus x? 4x. Plus, what's 2 plus 4 plus 6? And that equals 52. I'm going to subtract 12. So I have 4x equals, what is 52 minus 12? 40. Divide by 4, and I get x equals 10. Now, did it ask for all four of the integers? No, it didn't. It said find the sum of the largest and. So I need to find all four, so it's going to be 10, 12, 14, 16, but that's not my answer. It wants the sum of the largest and the, so here's the largest, here's the smallest. What's the sum of those? 26. Okay. We don't have to do all of these. Let's just do this last one because it's probably the most challenging. Y'all ready? What kind of shape is this? A rectangle. It says the length of a rectangle is 3.5 inches more than its width. So here's the length, here's the width. So here's the width. Let's call it W. What's the length? 3.5 more than W. How could I write that? 3.5 plus W. The perimeter of the rectangle is 31. Didn't we learn how to do this? Length plus width equals perimeter. So all of those add up to equal 31. So what is width plus width? 2W. Plus, and then I'm going to have to do this twice. I could do 2 times that, or I could write 3.5 plus W plus 3.5 plus W. Which way do y'all want to do it? Multiply. So plus 2 times, why do I have to put it in parentheses? Because I have to multiply the entire thing by 2. Because there's 2 of them, and that's going to add up to equal 31. So I have 2W plus 2 times 3.5, which is 7, plus 2 times W, which is 2W, equals 31. Would my calculator have solved this from the beginning? As long as I know what equation to put in there, right? All right, what's 2W plus 2W? So 4W plus 7 equals 31, and then I'm going to subtract 7. 4W equals, what's 31 minus 7? 24. Divide by 4, and 24 divided by 4 is 6. So the width is what? The width is 6 inches, and the length is 3.5 plus 6, which is 9.5 inches. Should you miss any of these, can you check them all in your calculator? Okay, be careful on 1 through 4. You are going to have to write those from words. Okay? Do y'all want me to help y'all set up number 1? Okay, go grab one. I'm sorry. All right, so number 1, it says 3 is added to a number. What will we call a number if we don't know what it is? So how would I write 3 is added to a number? 3 plus x. And then the sum is multiplied by 4. So this whole thing is multiplied by 4. What do you think I need to put around them? So this whole thing is multiplied by 4. The result is 16. Equals 16. Find the number, so you would solve it. So be careful with number 3, you're going to need parentheses. Number 2, you don't. And then on the back, you're going to be dealing with consecutive integers. You use your notes because I set them up for y'all. Okay?